Hey guys, hope you're having a great day today. My name is Daniel and I'm the High Mileage Helper. My whole goal on this channel is to be able to help you learn more about the RV transporting industry, as well as give you how-to videos for your truck and to give recommendations along the way for the industry as well as for your truck specifically. And so if this is the first time we're meeting, just consider subscribing, liking the video if I give you actual value today. And hopefully you can bear with me. I'm a little under the weather, allergies, my nose, my eye keeps watering. I don't know what the deal is, but in today's video, we're going to be getting into a subject that people get really worked up about, and people get pretty upset. Drivers, dispatchers, I'm sure, companies. But I'm going to share a situation with you that just happened to me over New Year's Eve, and I want to be able to help you along, hopefully be able to help you in your thinking as a driver in how things work and what the best course of action maybe is to do in this situation. So over a week ago on Friday, I looked at the load board and I saw that there were loads that I could take anytime. Dealerships that weren't closed for New Year's, and then dealerships that were closed were marked and they were labeled cannot ship until this certain day. And so I picked a load that was able to be shipped. It said it didn't say cannot ship until a certain day. It had nothing there. And so when I called the dispatcher, said, hey, can I get this load going to Delaware? And I called. He said, there's loads on here that you can't take until a certain ship day. Let me see if this load that you're wanting is one of those or not. And so I said, well, it says right here that there's no restrictions at all. You can take it anytime. There is no can't ship until a certain day, January 1 or January 2 or whatever. There's no restriction at all. So anyways, he said, oh, yep, you're right. There's no restrictions at all. And you can take this. I'll have the packet ready to go for you. Pick it up over the weekend. And I said, okay, great. Thank you. And so just any other regular load that I would do. I've been to this dealership multiple times. I know where it is. I know their hours. I know how they operate. To be honest, this dealership is pretty lazy. I don't know how else to say it. They rarely pick up the phone. When I called before to give them a 15-minute call, or the whole day before, I give them a call to verify, hey, yeah, you're good to go. Okay, no problem. So they rarely would pick up the phone, and so I knew I was going to be going into that, but Synergy had the load board show that it was not a restricted thing, that they were going to be open, and so I showed up, picked it up over the weekend, and Monday drove all the way there. I called twice, once at the beginning of the day and then once later at early afternoon time, and both times I got no call. For me, at that dealership, what I've experienced in the past, probably 8 or 9 times out of 10, each time I've gone there, they don't pick up the phone. This is a dealership. I showed up one time and I pulled up and I said, hey, I've been trying to call you yesterday and today. And they said, oh, really? You have? Huh. And first of all, I don't know how you run a business like that. I don't know how they have customers. I don't know how they're operating. I don't know how that's even a thing. But nevertheless, they do that sometimes. And so I called twice, or like I said, early in the morning, later in the afternoon, and they didn't pick up. And I truthfully didn't think anything of it because, first of all, Synergy had not restricted it. And so they're, of course, going to be open because they went through all of the loads supposedly on the load board and verified, yes, they're closed, yes, they're open, and there was no restriction. And so I picked it up. I drove it there. Got there in the morning on Tuesday morning at 9 or 10, I believe. And I go to the door, and the door has one door at the whole place has a piece of paper that says closed through until Thursday. They open up Thursday. And so I'm thinking, okay, so Synergy didn't call and verify. They let a should have been restricted unit not be able to be taken. I then called multiple times under a false sense of security, really. Felt like it was par for the course because this place never picks up the phone anyways. And so I drove it all the way from Goshen to Delaware, and they're not going to be open until Thursday. And the truth is, I had a prior engagement. First of all, I wanted to be home for New Year's, but also Thursday. I was not going to be waiting till Thursday to drop off. So it was just not going to happen. And so no one was there. I called. I went to every building that they had there. No one's there. No janitor. Nobody. And so I found myself in a bad position where I had no one to drop it off to. And so I'm sitting at the dealership. I called my dispatcher, said, hey, here's the situation. And this is what I really want you to think clearly through. A lot of guys just they get so upset so quickly they don't think through these things, and I just want to help you through this because I had to help myself through this in the moment going through the situation. But here's the truth, and I personally believe in personal accountability and owning what you have done, whether it's the right thing or the wrong thing. You've got to deal with your own stuff, what you have done or what you were supposed to. And so I believe it's the truth. Synergy, they were supposed to verify each load going through that they were able to be shipped or not. Otherwise, why would they go through half of the load board and not the other half and not verify it? Giving drivers a false sense of security of, oh yes, these are able to be taken, no problem, and then you just go. So first of all, I do believe that if they had gone through and actually verified this place, I wouldn't be sitting at their front door with no one there. I believe it was 100% their fault, and if I had not taken just another voicemail, leaving a voicemail for the dealership as an acceptable answer, and I had waited until I actually talked to a real person before I left the Synergy lot, before I left Goshen, we wouldn't be in the situation at all. It's 100% on me and 100% on them. If they had done what they were supposed to do, or supposedly already had done, but they really didn't for this load, I wouldn't be in the situation because I wouldn't have been able to take the load in the first place. Secondly, if I had done my part and verified and not left Synergy until I got a person with a pulse on the other side of the phone, I wouldn't be sitting in Delaware scratching my head wondering what's going to happen next. So I believe that it was 100% their fault and mine. But here's the I'll share what happened in a minute. Anytime that there's a company and a person or a driver or whatever the situation, an individual may be, generally if there's any negligence on your fault, on the individual's fault or whoever, the company, whether they have 100% guilty, negligence as well and not doing what they should have done or they supposedly said they already had done, if there's 1% that you are responsible for, guess what? You're probably going to get pinned with it, because the truth is, in this case, I didn't wait for a real person. I got voicemails twice and I'd already left. I didn't wait for it. I just assumed, oh, of course, Synergy verified it. We're good to go. I was able to take it. Why would they send me if I couldn't have taken it in the first place? But all these other ones were locked out. So I ended up having to deal with the circumstances, the repercussions of my decision, my choice, as well as their choice. And so I got back on the phone with Synergy and said, hey, listen, no one's here. I'm not waiting till Thursday. What can we do here? And so I was told, I explained the situation. Listen, so you're telling me that it's your fault and my fault, but I'm the one who has to pay for it, right? Basically. He said, yeah, basically. So I had a choice. I could either drive the unit home, which was not going to happen. I could abandon the trailer, which probably would get me fired or in major trouble. I don't even know. I never planned on doing that, so that wasn't really an option. I'm sure some guys have, and they've lost their jobs right there. But abandon the trailer at the dealership that you're delivering it to. But third option would just be, I was told, was for me to pay to take the trailer over to a storage facility and wait until they're open again at another time. Synergy would try to give me a load as close by as possible. It really didn't work out that way. But a unit close by I would try to get. And then after dropping that one off this next week right now, then coming back, driving, picking it up from the storage unit, and then taking it and delivering it, and then going on to the next load or going home, whatever. And so, and I would be paying for that out of my own pocket. And so I had a moment of silence. I said, I will get back to you. I'm a little frustrated right now because, yes, it is my fault 100%. I own it. It is what it is. What am I going to say? I never talked to somebody. I never scheduled an appointment. I never talked to a human. Got verification that, yes, they are going to be open. I didn't get that. That's me. Whether they labeled it on the board or not, guess what? We are responsible for what we're supposed to be doing. And that's one of the things we're supposed to do is call before. They always say call, call, call. That's what I always do. I foolishly had a false sense of security with this dealership because of the past. And so if there's one thing you can get from this video real quick is always call and don't go off of the past, because you need to verify everything going on along the way. Things change. Miscommunications happen. Guess what? You're human. They're human. Miscommunication happens. Mistakes happen. You make mistakes. I make mistakes. It is what it is. Playing the blame game doesn't actually solve problems. And so in this case, I just kind of settled down and really just had to swallow my pride. That's really what it was. And just said, okay, I've got to find a place to stash this thing. And I looked around on Facebook groups to see if somebody with Synergy could actually store it for me. No one got back to me. And so I just nearby, obviously, in Delaware. And so I just decided, listen, I'm just going to have to bite the bullet. And I'm going to have to stash this trailer at a storage facility and pay whatever it is and come back and just figure it out later and just eat some of the cost. And so I ended up calling several places. I got a quote of 125, 80, and then 45. I explained the situation. Commercial driver, this is a brand new unit. It's going to be a week away. They say at any storage facility, they're going to say we charge by the month, because we're not doing this couple days here or there game. It's a monthly lease or whatever, so it is what it is. And so I talked to the guy, explained the whole thing, and he surprised. I'm very grateful for it. Very grateful. God just kind of worked that out for me. But he said, you know what? That's ridiculous. That shouldn't have happened to you. You shouldn't have to pay for that. He kind of got actually kind of worked up and upset at my company for me, and he said, you know what? We got to charge you something. Just to keep you on the books, just to show we made profit off of you for insurance, whatever. So how does $20 sound? And I said, sounds like I need your address. Let me get that on the GPS real quick, because I'm not going to beat $20 to secure the trailer safely where Synergy's going to be happy with it. I'm going to feel happy with it. And it was like 4 or 5 miles away from the dealership. It's just incredible. And so right now, this is Sunday night. Right now, the trailer is still sitting in a storage facility in Delaware. Right now, I've got a trailer to Connecticut, leaving tomorrow, and so I'm going to be going to Connecticut, and then eating the cost of 280 some miles. I've said this before. I've got a buddy who said it before. I don't know if he came up with it or somebody else, but just the idea of you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. And guess what? I played a stupid game by believing my company had not missed, just one trailer. I played a stupid game by not verifying that the dealership was open and it was all good to go from a human being. And guess what? Things happen. It is what it is. I know at many points I've heard other drivers talk about this before, where they just start foaming at the mouth and just start, I'm quitting right now, blah, 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 blah. And they storm out and cause a big issue, and they don't get their bond back, and they cause problems. They go on to the next transport company, and they just think the world's out to get them, and everybody's just a hater and whatever. The truth is, man, we make mistakes. And you gotta own up to it. You gotta own up for what you've done, and understand that there's always backlash. It's always worse than what could have been good. And so, guess what? I have to pay out of my own pocket for the fuel to get down there. It's like 5 hours. I already paid the $20 for the fee to store it there. Then I've got to deliver it and then come home. And the difference in miles that I'm losing out on that as well, from would have been Connecticut home instead of Delaware. So all of that, it's going to be a loss. It's going to be over 100 gallons, or I'm sorry, $100 in fuel and all that. So it won't be catastrophic. I'll still have made money on the Delaware run technically, but man, it's a kick in the shin. And I hope this has helped you. If anybody's still watching, this is a difficult thing. Understand, companies, when they're liable, but they see you're 1% liable, guess what? You're probably going to own a lot of it. I'm not a hater to Synergy. I'm not quitting. I'm not going to go cuss somebody out, go yell at somebody, be real mean to somebody as a dispatcher. Guess what? We live and learn. If I had done my part in the first place, we never would have been in this situation to begin with. Even if Synergy had still messed up and not put on the load board what it shouldn't have been delivered. It just is what it is, guys. I hope this has helped to you. This is just a real world situation where you got to call ahead, you got to verify. Don't trust the past because things change. If something's wrong at the end of the day, you're probably going to have to be the one who pays the piper or whatever. So, anyways, hope you're having a great day today, guys. I'm going to be not having the best day having to do that, but it could be much worse. I was able to be home with my family on New Year's and had a great time. So, anyways, live and learn. Hopefully, this helped you so you don't do what I did. Even after almost 4 years of driving, I'm still making mistakes. I still got to learn. I can't just trust things that I thought I do. I need to confirm it. And so, again, hope you're having a great day today. Stay safe and God bless.